Pusha P. Pusha P. I'm Pusha P. Yeah. Pusha P. I'm Pusha P. I'm Pusha P.
I'm Pusha P. Welcome to the Week 13 Bud Baller Review. Lots to get into. I am the first team to clinch a playoff spot. Alec and Tom had a fantastic matchup. There was a lot of P going on in the league this week, and there was a lot of not P going on in the league this week. And I'll let you know what was and what wasn't. But jumping in, just absolutely slaughtered Tim. It wasn't even close. Nick is just dragging the remains of Chris's team through the mud. This is actually a fairly close matchup, but there's just nothing left. There's just a heartbeat or two away from just death from Chris's team. Tom and Alec definitely had the matchup of the week. Sawyer throttled John. Not much John could do. His team just wasn't putting up the fight, and it showed on that 10-1 score. And Drew's team had a very, very solid week. I don't know how many people are checking the standings, if it's just the top six, if anybody else is interested, but the top six just continue to pull away from the bottom. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. There's definitely things to be done by the teams at the bottom. There are several good teams down there. It's just you've got to be even a competent manager to make that work. And what I mean is even having a full lineup, then setting a lineup if you want to make ad drops. You know, we're not asking everybody to just be the top dog in the league every year. I know that's not feasible, but you know, just try a little bit, and you might be surprised what happens. Let's go through it fairly quickly, though. Like I said, I beat up on Tim. Tim did leave a couple players on his bench throughout the week. Had those players played at this matchup, I still would have won, but it would have been 6-5. But I had the highest free throw percentage and threes made in the league this week, 800 points, almost 50 more rebounds than Tim, almost 100 more assists. Steals and blocks weren't close. Double-doubles were close, but it just didn't. Just nothing Tim could really do this week. Score a 10-1. I also had 12 more people play than Tim this week. Use that ad drop strategy. Sometimes it works out. MVP for my team is going to be Joel Embiid. 534 from the field, 119 points scored, 39 rebounds, 18 assists, 5 blocks, and 2 double-doubles. I would have been 7-2 this week, only would have lost to Sawyer and Tom. Currently riding a 5-game win streak with a record of 11-1-1. Have not lost since the very first week of the season. And like I said, I am the first team to clinch a playoff spot, and I currently have a 1.5 lead over second place. Meanwhile, Tim, I think, was in third place last week, but drops down to fourth. He would have been 0-8-1 this week, only would have tied Jackson. 2-game losing streak for Tim. Record of 8-4-1, tied with John for third place. On to Nick and Chris. Like I said, Nick didn't have to do too much in order to beat Chris. Ja put up a pretty good line this week. A good enough line to beat Chris because they were only separated by 11 threes, 2 assists, 4 blocks, 5 turnovers, so it actually was fairly close. But Ja Morant putting up 64 points, 18 rebounds, 25 assists. Nick would have been 3-6, beating Chris, Tim, and Jackson. 1-game winning streak, record of 3-10-0. Meanwhile, Chris at the very bottom only would have been 1-8. That sole win coming versus Tim. 4-game losing streak for Chris, record of 2-11-0, all by himself down in 10th place. On to Tom and Alec. This one was really good. Tom ended up taking both percentages and had one more three-pointer than Alec to take it there. Also took over points. Tom had the most rebounds, steals, and blocks in the league this week, while Alec had the most assists and tied for the most double-doubles with 13. Also had triple-double in there to boot. But Tom's MVP this week is going to be Kevin Porter Jr. for doing a little bit of everything. 65 points scored, 21 rebounds, 22 assists, and 4 steals. Let's see. Tom in 6th place right now with a record of, or would have been 8-1 this week. Only loss would have come versus Sawyer. 2-game winning streak for Tom, record of 7-5-1, and I believe he is a half game out of that 5th place spot. Meanwhile, Alec would have been 5-3-1, only would have lost to Tom, myself, Sawyer, and would have tied Drew. 1-game losing streak for Al slides down to 5th. I think he was in 5th place last week, actually, but record of 8-5-0, half-game lead over Tom in 5th place. And I believe only a half-game lead out of 3rd, if I'm looking at this properly. Next, we had Sawyer versus John. This was supposed to be the matchup of the week, but John's team just didn't have enough life in it to make this one that close. Sawyer had the highest field goal, most points scored, tied for the most double-doubles and most triple-doubles this week, winning field goal, free throw, three-pointers, points, rebounds, assists, blocks, turnovers, double-doubles, and triple-doubles. 2 10-1 score. Sawyer actually only had 46 players play to John's 53, and his team still throttled Mr. J. Huss. Sawyer would have been 9-0. He's 26-6 over his last 3 weeks. Absolute stud of a team. 3-game winning streak, record of 10-3-1, game and a half out of first place, but sitting, I believe, with. Let me look at this real quick. Let's see. Sawyer has a game and a half lead over 3rd and 4th place right now. MVP for Sawyer is going to be DeJounte Murray. We're saying his name a lot this season. 529 from the field, 104 points scored, 35 rebounds, 33 assists, 8 steals, 2 double-doubles, and a triple-double. Finally, onto Drew and Jackson. Man, if we thought Chris's team was bad, Jackson's team, 374 points, 43 threes made, only 139 rebounds, only 116 assists. Did have the lowest turnovers this week with 53, so that's good, in 3 double-doubles. But let's not take that away from Drew, who had 10 double-doubles on the week, a triple-double, 285 rebounds, fairly good percentages. Drew would have been 5-3-1 this week. Only would have lost to myself, Tom, and Sawyer, and would have tied Alec. Drew riding a 1-game win streak with a record of 3-10-0 in 7th place, but tied with Nick and Jackson. Meanwhile, Jackson would have been 1-7-1, would have somehow beat Chris and tied Tim, but on a 3-game slide, record of 3-10-0. Player of the week is going to be Jokic. He did everything well. He's going absolutely nuclear right now. 630 from the field, 83 points scored, 48 rebounds, 42 assists, 3 double-doubles, 2 triple-doubles. He averaged 20.8 points, 12.0 rebounds, 10.5 assists, and 1.0 steals a game. It's just he's absolutely going insane. I think he's right now number 1 odds, right up there for number 1 odds with for MVP right now. He's just keeping the Nuggets afloat. Coming into this week, I think we just had all of the playoff teams play each other, and this week it's myself versus Sawyer, and everyone else gets to play a non-playoff player. Already down a couple guys. LaMelo didn't play. Halliburton's out for the week, and Ayton sprained his ankle yesterday, so Sawyer's going to have a leg up there. But like I said, I haven't lost since week 1. I don't know what that losing feeling's like. Sawyer's going to try his hardest, and I'm going to try his hardest not to let that fucking happen, Sawdog. Good luck, dogs.